Hey guys, welcome to my channel and welcome back. Okay, so again, these are collective readings. They're not going to resonate with everybody, so take what resonates and leave the rest. Okay, so we've got, there's been a lot of corruption and injustice. Okay, you could be writing about this corruption and injustice. You could be speaking out, writing. We've got the Eight of Cups in reverse. Some sort of stagnation, alright? Maybe trying to block some sort of forward movement, but missing piece of the puzzle, alright? Somebody could have tried to puzzle or confuse. Yeah, there's been a lot of orchestrating. Alright, a lot of people collaborating, okay, playing games, maybe even dicing with somebody's life, dicing with death, with a death card here. A lot of corruption, a lot of injustice, alright, someone who's been gambling with Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine's life, with the Empress card, maybe even child or children's life, okay, wanting masculine or feminine to be on the edge, okay, trying to block some sort of forward movement. It's all been orchestrated with the Three of Pentacles. They collaborated, okay? They wanted an audience, okay? They wanted people to be puzzled, and maybe you are putting the pieces of your life back together, alright? Putting the pieces of this puzzle together. We've got the Death card and Seven of Swords. So there's been a lot of sneak attacks, okay? There's been a lot of sneaky, deceptive, dishonest, cunning, devious people surrounding Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine. And if they have child or children, they've been trying to play some sort of tug of war. We've got Nine of Pentacles in reverse to try and take some sort of financial stability. Maybe because they wanted some sort of financial stability for themselves, okay? Maybe try to remove some sort of financial stability. A tug of war. A lot of game playing. It was all orchestrated is what I'm getting. All orchestrated. All teamed together. Maybe they are jealous of how skilled you are, okay? Maybe if this is including child or children, they're jealous of how skilled child and children are. Six of Cups. Someone from family, someone from past, okay? Time is running out for them, okay? They brought a lot of stress. Three of Cups in reverse, a lot of malicious gossip. Four of Wands in reverse, and then the Nine of Wands, playing a lot of games, trying to trample all over masculine, feminine, walk all over masculine or feminine, maybe walk, feeling like they could walk into masculine or feminine's house whenever they felt like it. They was trying to get on some sort of ladder, alright, some sort of like property ladder. They wanted to like come up off the back of somebody else. So that's what it is, wanting to come up off the back of somebody else. Yeah, they wanted to come up off the back of somebody else who's got a lot of divine knowledge, divine wisdom, divine protection, okay, probably just very, maybe masculine or feminine's been on their own a lot, okay, alright, very calm, very down to earth, very grounded, and maybe kindness was taken for weakness by Billy Big Bollocks. By Billy Big Bollocks, someone corrupt law, corrupt attorney, okay? Billy Big Bollocks, corrupt attorney, alright, with this justice card like in reverse. Billy Big Bollocks, who works within the justice system, alright, jealous of skills, jealous of talents, could have done, took some money and spent that on gambling, and then they've got a lot of bad karma. We've got Ten of Swords in reverse. They could want to wipe themselves out, alright? Billy Big Bollocks could be wanting to wipe themselves out, Jelens. Billy Big Bollocks could have wanted to wipe themselves out. They wanted it to be like finding a needle in a haystack. Maybe they didn't want some crimes to be solved, or justice to be brought surrounding some sort of crimes, because they are jealous of this masculine or feminine skills and talents, alright? So they wanted to try and remove some sort of independent business or businesses. They wanted to have some sort of maybe power of attorney over independent businesses. 5 of Wands, they was dragging masculine or feminine's name through the male and child or children, battling and competing, because they wanted to be showered in some sort of divine energy. They wanted to be showered with gifts. They wanted to be showered with recognition or clout. But with this 10 of Swords in reverse and the Wheel of Year in reverse, maybe they wanted to be able to look down on masculine or feminine, or point them out and try and find some faults and flaws. But Billy Big Bollocks could maybe want to wipe themselves out, because I'm getting Billy Big Bollocks is in isolation, 4 of Swords, and now Billy Big Bollocks is getting their name run through the mill for some sort of online stalking. Alright, they could have took some sort of money, maybe account hacking. Alright, account hacking, 5 of Wands, and then the 3 of Cups in reverse. A lot of malicious lies, illegal documentation, alright, for the love of money, for some sort of clout, okay? Malicious lies for the love of money. They could have, we've got 3 of Swords in reverse. They could have like tried to cause some sort of heartbreak, alright? Some sort of betrayal, bring about some sort of ending, but now they want to end themselves, and now they're feeling depressed, and they could have been catching flight tickets, okay? Took some money under the table, catching flight tickets. Right, there's been a lot of mental, they're mentally retarded. They are mentally retarded. They are very mentally retarded, alright? Well, working within some sort of law, alright, and not upholding the law. Maybe their law firm, alright, is going to go bust, is what I'm getting. So their law firm, with the 5 of Wands, is going bust. It's going bust. 8 of Wands in reverse, some sort of bad news, that they've not even got a brain, is what I'm getting. They've got no brain. We've got 2 of Cups in reverse. They could have been trying to help an ex who's also not got a brain in secret. In secret, they was trying to help an ex in secret. Alright, they had it all mapped out. They had it all mapped out. It was all orchestrated, and now they are under judgment. Alright? They're under judgment. We've got the 9 of Cups and the 7 of Swords. They tried to do some sort of sneaky, deceptive, dishonest, dodgy dealings. Alright. Maybe tried to put masculine or feminine in dark night of the soul and child or children. Surrounding some sort of, with this Ace of Pentacles, prosperity. Because they wanted to go on some sort of adventure. Alright. 8 of Swords in reverse, and then they think they should be staying out of prison for lying on earth, perjury, maybe forcing power of attorney, alright, 8 of Wands in reverse, and then maybe they didn't really understand how mentally retarded and mentally unstable an ex was, and again, they are under divine judgment. We've got the Death card in reverse. They tried to bring a brutal ending, alright, to masculine or feminine, but obviously with this Empress energy, I'm getting it was a masculine involved in this, okay? Wanted to bring about a brutal ending. 10 of Cups in reverse, very dysfunctional family, alright? They're very toxic, and that's what it's been revealed as. They're very toxic. They could have tried to set they could have tried to set this feminine up for crimes they've not committed, unfounded crimes, because they're very chained to the mundane. 8 of Swords in reverse. And then we've got the Two of Cups to try and stop some sort of balance, peace, harmony, because there's a lot of balance, there's a lot of peace, there's a lot of harmony, there's a lot of like groundedness. And in secret, they had a lot of sinister things orchestrated to help this corrupt ex. And they wanted it, again, to be like finding a needle in a haystack. They didn't want some sort of justice. They didn't want judgment raining down on them. So maybe the law is raining down on their sorry arses. Seven of Pentacles in reverse. It was a bad investment for them. They could have tried to take some sort of inheritance, like some sort of insurance, okay? They could have tried to take the fruits of labour, inheritance job, insurance job, Three of Swords in reverse, and now they're feeling depressed, along with a solicitor, alright, who could have tried to get feminine locked up for crimes they've not committed, because they wanted to catch a flight abroad. So some people have been going abroad. Five of Swords in reverse. These enemies didn't want to see this feminine on a come up, so they orchestrated playing games and gambling and dicing with death. Alright. They was working to play games. And then we've got something to do with a bank account getting shut down, a bank account getting put under investigation because they've been playing games. They've been taking money under the table, alright. They could have helped somebody who worked in a bank before, who was selling some sort of bank details, alright, money laundering, racketeering, okay. And they was defending the wrong party. They was defending the corruption and injustice instead of defending the innocent. To help a dysfunctional family or families, okay. And they was thinking they could walk all over masculine or feminine, because I'm getting they was repping the beast, alright, and they thought Eight of Swords in reverse will stay out of prison. Eight of Wands in reverse, lying, legal documentation, medical records, like mental records, okay, a lot of psychological warfare, and nothing but bad news to affect balance, to affect peace, to affect harmony. A lot of them spent this money, Six of Cups, Titan's running out for them. A lot of them spent this money propped up at a bar, drinking, partying, celebrating. A lot of them spent this money partying, celebrating, going abroad on holiday, alright. Bank accounts are under investigation. They paid for some sort of crystal ball reading. Crystal ball readings was paid for by an ex. Crystal ball readings paid for by an ex because they want to see their ex in the shower. They want to see their ex see if there's another relationship coming towards the children's mother, or the child or children's mother. Alright. So they, Four of Pentacles, they started being really mean online from fake accounts, okay? Online bullying from fake accounts. Didn't want feminine to speak out about what she was going through because they was helping an ex play big man. I'm bigger than you, and I've got some pals here, Billy Big Bollocks here, and we're gonna try and stop some sort of passionate new beginning, alright? Because they don't want to see feminine come into the spotlight. So Six of Wands in reverse. They could have tried to do some sort of hunting party and a gang stalking, orchestrated 1414, orchestrated gang stalking. Two of Swords in reverse to try and block some sort of justice, alright? Block some sort of forward movement. Two of Swords in reverse, we've seen through the truth, alright? They just wanted to boot masculine off, well, this female out of a house or a home. Four of Wands in reverse, some sort of ruthless tactics, alright, to help an ex who is making deals with the devil, alright? Making deals with the devil, and they have been working with some sort of foreign energies and working with the beast, with the lion there, alright? You can see this Yeah, they was trying to work in the shadows, making some sort of dealings with the devil, travelling abroad, alright. Someone's tried to flee abroad, alright. There could even be something to do with like booting a cat, Three of Cups in reverse, booting a cat, malicious gossip, Four of Wands in reverse, very ruthless, alright, fabricating legal documentation to try and take control. Because they wanted some sort of gifts from lying. So they wanted some sort of gifts from lying, okay? Because they wanted to be seen as a star. This ex wanted to be seen as a star, alright? So this ex wanted to be seen as a star, and they wanted some sort of gifts from lying. Oh my lordy, lordy, lordy. And it was a false victory. It was just a lot of malicious lies, a lot of like ruthless gossip, alright? A lot of malicious lies, a lot of malicious gossip. If they have got inside of some sort of secret society with this boot here, they're going to get booted out of a secret society, alright? We've got some sort of legal proceedings with a judge, 10 of Pentacles, alright? If they took hold of some sort of wealth and was taking gifts and there was an underhanded behaviour, yeah, Six of Cups in reverse, they were being very childish and also paying for crystal ball readings, alright? Ace of Pentacles in reverse because they wanted to take some sort of prosperity for themselves, a lot of underhanded behaviour because they're all snakes and they refused to heal, alright? Tried to make out like feminine was unhealed, but they was part of trying to tear feminine apart, her life apart, malicious lies, rumours and gossip, and then wanted to even control feminine's balance, peace, harmony, knock them out of balance. So there's a lot of people who's losing their jobs, alright? There's a lot of people losing their jobs. They just didn't want to see this feminine come out of poverty and have their earned generational wealth, what they've been trying to rip off, okay? So they was making dealings, alright, in the dark, but they didn't want to be brought in the spotlight, okay? They've been doing a lot of online shopping, okay? Grocery shopping, more malicious gossip, alright? Ruthless, malicious gossip, online shopping, food shopping, alright? They've gone to a dark high priestess, okay? A dark high priestess. Ancestors are whooping their ass. They tried to create some sort of confusion. They went to a dark high priestess. That was a bad investment. They've been doing love magic. They've been doing womb magic. They've been doing love magic. They've been doing womb magic, alright? They're in possession. Somebody could be claiming to be a high priestess. They've been caught out. They've been caught sneaking around, stalking, okay? They've been caught trying to act like the big man to take control of some sort of recognition. Take control of some sort of recognition is what they wanted. They wanted to take control of some sort of victories and success in an illegal way. Four of Pentacles in reverse. They've got like high priestess, like Pisces type of energy, who got involved in some sort of gang stalking, trying to create a diversion, distraction, okay, creating propaganda, trying to create a detour in feminine's life, and now they're getting ass whooping from ancestors. Now they're getting an ass whooping from ancestors. They're going to get found guilty. Two of Swords for trying to block some sort of justice, obstruction of justice. So they're going to get found guilty for obstruction of justice. So there is going to be a new beginning. They're going to get found guilty for obstructing justice. There's going to be a payout, okay? They got sloppy and left evidence all over the place, CCTV footage, call logs, messages found. Alright, so they're being obstructing the course of justice. We've got multiple exes and ex-friends involved, jealous snakes targeting you. But I did point out them snakes, didn't I? The laws knew and did nothing, and losing everything protected the karmics. They wanted this feminine and maybe child or children executed because they've done this before. And we've got relatives from out of town involved in premeditated murder because they wanted this wealth for themselves. So tried to have child or this feminine and child or children ended. Some of these people could live near a lake, a river, canal, sea, pond, stream, ocean, marina type of energy, okay, some sort of docks, and then didn't believe you were gifted by God, and now they know you are and feeling sad. This is this depression. They're depressed because they're going to lose absolutely everything, okay? They tried to stagnate some sort of justice because the corruption and justice, they wanted it to be up and running. So everyone involved, corrupt law and corrupt law firms who has been involved in this, their children will be put up for adoption for what they did, and they help protect and defend child killers. Child killer about to be caught by undercovers. Alright, so basically there was premeditating child or children's murder, and they've done this before. They played dirty for the love of money that was never even theirs to take. Wow. Wow. Some of these people involved, okay, could be getting put because of their level of severe corruption. They could be getting put in some sort of a glass box, is what I'm getting. In some sort of a glass box, alright, because they're an absolute beast, they're an absolute animal. Then we've got third house, communication, writing, speaking, research, teaching, public speaking. So they didn't want to see this feminine do any sort of public speaking. Feminine could be a teacher, done a lot of research, a lot of writing, a lot of speaking, so maybe doing some sort of throat chakra and trying to block some sort of communication because they forged legal documents and changed medical records, and they are sick from black magic backfiring onto them. Jealous that feminine was born with God-given gifts, family got jealous. Family got jealous, and they've been trying to find, secretly, all these evil people, have tried to find if there's any masculine coming towards feminine, alright, masculine to come towards feminine. They are grassing on each other, so they're grassing each other up to get a lesser sentence. They will lose their homes, jobs, cars for what they've done, alright. So jealous of your success, they try to defame your name for fun, and they walk around like they're successful, but fakes and frauds. Then we've got used ID overseas to open up account in your name exposed. So a lot of money laundering. So they've been laundering this money, stolen money, embezzlement, all this type of activity, because they didn't want to see this feminine come up, alright? So they was creating a lot of conflicts. They was bringing a lot of conflicts. They was bringing a lot of drama, alright? Battling and competing for money that was never even theirs. We've got bully boys and mean girls. Then we've got false evidence and bearing false witness. Then we've got gross misconduct, something that is very serious and has very serious effects. And with that time running out. They know their time is up. They got involved in child abduction. They've been cornered. They've been exposed. They did a forced power of attorney. People aged 70 to 75 involved. And then they have been using this money to traffic guns, maybe from abroad, from overseas, alright. They've got curve and ties, dark witch, dark warlocks, trafficking guns, alright, to try and put hits out on feminine and child or children. Large group conspiring against you, corrupt law sat back, and they did nothing. Paying for a shit ton of readings, hating this feminine because this feminine outranks them spiritually. So they did a lot of mental magic. They bought cars and bikes with stolen money, alright. People aged 60 to 65 involved. Freemasons are involved. Brotherhood, BLOOD, Luciferians, so they got on some sort of contract killings because they think that they deserved this money more than this feminine, alright, and didn't want feminine's child or children to have their own wealth or their own financial stability, so trying to rip that away from the children as well, from jealousy, from spite, alright. Been catching flights a lot. No, I don't know. A type of financial fraud. Alright, so we've got embezzlement. I did say that. Theft of funds placed in one's care, trust or belongings to one's employer. A type of financial fraud where someone takes money or assets that were entrusted to them and uses them for a different purpose than for what intended. So forcing power of attorney and then funding, trying to do some sort of hit and runs, okay? Funding, doing a lot of spell work, funding, and doing some sort of satanic rituals, Baphomet rituals, conjuring demons and devils. So using that to fund that, fund trafficking, okay? A whole coven is going down. Funding, trafficking, they are committing crimes to cover up a crime, to cover up a crime, to cover up a crime, committing crimes to cover up a crime, to cover up a crime, to cover up a crime, to cover up a bloody crime. Alright? And now they are out of people to cover their backs. There's been a lot of energy harvesting and they're having withdrawals from feminine and child or children's energy. They've been doing a lot of crown chakra attacks. Third eye, throat, heart, solar sacral, root, alright. Refusing to let you go, spiritually attacking you, obsessed with spell work. So this is an ex, so they've been helping an ex spiritually batter to child or children's mother. Spiritually batter. They've got corrupt nurse, corrupt healthcare workers, alright. Spiritually bullying. Divine masculine and divine feminine, because if there's any masculine who comes towards feminine, they will come for them. They're losing everything for what they've done. This corrupt judge, lawyer, solicitor, attorney is losing everything. Alright, there's a corrupt cousin involved. A corrupt cousin. They are on edge. They thought you were an easy target. They tried to downgrade you to make you insecure, and now they're all going down exposed because they're corrupt to the core. Law firms are under investigation and they're going to lose their full law firm for what they've done. The linking to grey collar crimes, identity theft, hacking, unauthorised access to digital systems, and reactive abuse. Reactive abuse. So a lot of bullying, alright, trying to keep that secret, and then just watching feminine's reaction to all this spiritual bullying, okay, to all these satanic Baphomet rituals, conjuring devils and demons, a load of spell work, okay, spying through crystal balls, thinking that they should be able to just walk in feminine's house, trample in the house and do whatever they want. And this dysfunctional family with a 10 of cups in reverse, their bank accounts are under investigation. They was doing some sort of sexual favours for immunity. So many haters recruited against you, they don't even like themselves, alright? To try and abuse feminine, alright? and they are using children to attack you. So try to turn children against their own mother through lies. Yeah. Bring chaos, bring trauma, and try and sacrifice a new beginning. So try to sacrifice a new beginning from malicious gossip. Because they didn't want feminine and child or children to have some sort of a house or a home and some sort of wealth, because they wanted to take it. So they're going to get booted. 6 of Wands are going to get booted out of the bank, okay? 6 of Wands, they're going to get booted offline. Ace of Pentacles in reverse. Maybe bank accounts are getting shut down. These fake social media accounts, they're getting shut down. I was very passionate about a lot of fraud, a hell of a lot of fraud. So they're involved in a lot of fraud, a lot of fabricating legal documentation, because they was passionate about that, you see. Fabricating legal documentation, alright. Now they're getting rounded up by law officials because they're all mentally retarded, and they're having nightmares because they know the lies are being exposed, maybe on some sort of social media, alright. And well, it's all stacking up, they're racking up a shit ton of crimes, stacking up, racking up, alright. But they're going to get found guilty. They're going to get found guilty. They've been doing love magic, okay? Mould magic, SEX magic. It does say pulled from fallen angel deck. Okay, maybe their bank accounts is going to get drained to nil. Alright? Because they are using it to fund organised crime, to target innocent people. When they get locked up, they're going to get a broken nose, arm, leg, okay? They're going to get bones broken. Got a new chapter, change, development. So there's been some sort of development. Maybe some of them are very mentally retarded, and they have developmental delays, because how can they battle and compete for money what was never even theirs in the first place? So they've got some sort of developmental delays, and they're going to have to come clean. They're going to have to be honest. They're going to have to be honest, Talents. They were celebrating some sort of historical abuse. They were celebrating historical abuse. They were celebrating historical abuse. Celebrating historical abuse, darlings. Celebrating it. Because they wanted to go on an adventure with some stolen money and bring some sort of turmoil. There was danger of loss and persuasion, danger of loss of child or children's lives, and they're all persuading each other and manipulating each other. Danger of loss of child or children's life, and danger of loss of mother's life, because there has been some sort of guns, okay? Because they wanted this well, all persuading each other to create upheaval after upheaval after upheaval. They was disputing this money coming to this feminine, yeah, because they wanted this money for themselves with underhanded behaviour. Now they could be having some sort of disputes at the bank, alright? Now they could be having some disputes at the bank, and they're going to lose everything, alright? They're going to be going through turmoil. Yeah, there's going to be some sort of disputes at the bank. Misfortune. Yeah. There's going to be disputes at the bank. Any money what they took under the table, any money what they've taken and forced power of attorney over, they're going to lose their bank account, is what I'm getting. The bank account is going to be put on ice, and they're going to have to dispute something at the bank, and with that dispute at the bank, they know that they're under investigation. Just didn't want to see this feminine have a transformation, have their own wealth, have their own home, have some sort of financial stability, have some peace, have some balance, have some harmony. So they partnership together. They had no empathy, they had no compassion, and no empathy and no remorse in that courtroom while they was battling and fighting for money what was never even theirs to take in the first place. Now they're in recuperation, got friendship. They're all friends. They're all friends. They're either in bed with each other or best of friends with each other, alright? They couldn't be honest to save their own soul. They couldn't be honest to save their own soul. They couldn't be honest to save their own soul, alright? They are surrounded by undercover and police, let me tell you that. They are surrounded by undercover and police because they are child murderers, alright? And they're trying to end child or children for an insurance job. But they trick the children to work against their own mother for a couple of pennies and a bit of clout while there was premeditating child or children's murders. Which is disgusting. Someone is watching you and wants to date for clout. We've got churchgoers using bloody spell work, alright? They're all devil bloody worshippers. We've got postal worker, took mail for the karmics to claim wealth for themselves. Baby daddy, baby mama family. So maybe even family on both sides are involved. Paid a law firm to block bringing you justice. They took a payment, and that's why they are losing their full law firm for the severity. Yeah, they're going to lose their jobs, their homes, their cars, their bikes, okay? They're going to lose everything, and they're going to be on the news for what they did to you. Documents have been found. Never showed this feminine any respect or love, or the child or children, because they, premeditating child or 37, children's murder, paid neighbours to watch you and report back to them, alright, with stolen money while the premeditating mother's murder and child or children's murder, they're under divine judgment, alright? They're under divine judgment. Good law officials can see they're possessed by legions of demons. Message toxic fan behind your back to plot with them. So Jean could be significant. They wanted to wear the jeans. They wanted to wear the trousers. Alright? Dark energy worker passing away from spell work, backfiring, and all enemies joined forces to get you locked up to cover up. Possessed by legions of demons, 72 or 66 legions, Osmodeus Bale, alright, 666 legions, each containing 6,666 demons. So there's demons and devil worshippers, which is obvious, with Freemasons, Luciferians, infiltrating the legal system, the justice system, alright, and also infiltrating the hospitals and Eastern Stars, doing a lot of witchcraft. We've got the hitman who was paid is helping the detective now, alright? Relatives from out of town could have sent a hitman in and they will be locked up in prison for lives for crimes against you, all of them. And some of them could be getting put in some sort of a glass box, and have people watching them 24/7. Dirty law exposed for cover-ups and they took bribes, so they're going to be put in prison. They're going to lose their jobs, alright, their titles, their badges, probably going to end up in Monster Mansion prison, and the corrupt law, they they will be targeted first, alright? Child killers, they will be targeted like mad. And then we've got long battle for justice. So it's been a long battle for justice. Group chat is under investigation and you will get justice for the crimes against you. Bank manager getting locked up, or someone who works in a bank. Someone who used to work in a bank, either a bank manager or a bank assistant, is going to get locked up. Okay. Ropes, bags, tools, gloves in back of car, van or boat. So there are serial killers. And then we've got suing the government, alright. They will be named and shamed publicly and they are all under investigation for major crimes. This ain't no petty crime, alright. This is major crimes. Children recruited into a cult or coven in some sort of like initiation ritual. We've got cottage witch, head witch, kitchen witch, urban witch, tech witch or warlock. So even bringing child or children in, snatching them and putting them in the middle of a satanic cult, coven and premeditating their murder. So much karmic debts accumulated. The law will be charged because of what they've done to you. The law will be charged for what they have done. They're all going to get put on maximum security, alright? They're going to try and do a plea deal. They was always trying to recruit new haters. Always trying to recruit new haters. Pure selfish, egotistical. But obviously, if it's Freemasons and stuff like that, all they give a damn about is themselves and what they can get. And it doesn't matter how many people get hurt, as long as they get what they want. Satanic rituals and stuff like that. Even ending child or children. This is why they're all getting locked up. Furniture shop with stolen money. Alright. Standing trial. So they've been going to furniture shops, okay, grocery stores, ordering packages and stuff online, a lot of online shopping. There's a mayor involved who's also going to be sentenced and charged. Families joined forces and now they're getting locked up in prison. So even a mayor is involved. They're going to get sentenced and charged. Premeditating a child or children's murder out of spite, out of jealousy, disgusting, absolutely foul. Jealous of your independence because they're all very codependent on each other. So could have tried to take hold of an independent business for themselves, and obviously it's getting involved in child abduction, putting hits out. We've got assault and battery. So it's linking to assault and battery, alright, and then spiritual assault and battery. Dirty landlord caught up for crimes they've committed. So landlord is going down. We've got abuse of power there. A landlord is going down. The entity they worked with is attacking them and torturing them 24/7. All attacking each other, blackmailing each other and grassing for a lesser sentence. Whole town worked against one woman and child or children, tricked everyone into their own demise. Corrupted courthouse, busted. And that's why they're going to end up on Monster Mansion. We've got immune to the poison and black magic now. So they're poisoned feminine and done a lot of black magic, alright? They're all getting busted. They're all getting raided. Want revenge for what they did wrong to you. So they want revenge for what they did wrong to this feminine and child or children. They're going to try and do a settlement out of court, a plea deal, but no. A feminine is filing some sort of a lawsuit, okay? Child, teenage, murderer. So there was a set of child and teenage murderers, okay, who's been cyber stalking and hacking feminine's account. They're mentally retarded from spell work, backfiring, a lot of black magic. They've got slight retardation. They are possessed pure greed, mammon, wealth. And they don't want feminine to speak out because they just want this abuse to keep up and running, and they want to end more child or children for materialistic things, for some sort of fame, for some sort of clout, for some sort of recognition. Somebody could already be locked up in jail, and the jail calls are being recorded, okay? So some of these people could already be locked up in jail, alright? Some of them are ready to be locked up in jail, and justice will be served. They will be going on maximum security prison. The government's going to get sued, alright? The mayor losing job title, so the government's going to get sued. They're all going to be named and shamed. They all joined together. They was putting hits out, and they lied to get black magic done on you and played victim. They've got lost in their own illusions. Mental magic backfired. They're very delusional. There's a mother and daughter or son. A mother and daughter or son involved, accessory to murder, assisting or aiding. So people are going to get done for accessory to murder, assisting and aiding. Alright. United against one person. And now they're all going to go down. They're all going to go down. They're crying wolf. They're making out like they're struggling with their mental health. Alright. Family feud. They are making out like they're struggling with their mental health. We've got ex-wife, ex-husband, ex-girlfriend, ex-boyfriend involved. Okay. So many people wanted you to be weak just like them. They're mentally weak, and they've been getting involved in spree killings. Wow. No honour amongst thieves. So they tried to end a lot of people to cover this up, and tried to end feminine and child or children multiple times. Alright. Someone was slamming the corrupt attorney. Wow. Child kidnapping and child abduction. Someone was slamming the corrupt attorney. And then we've got claim due past to claim inheritance. So already claiming somebody's past to claim some sort of inheritance. They're addicted to drugs, alright? Paying people to switch up on you, and it's linking to satanic ritual abuse. Spending it all on drugs. Jealous of confidence, so probably try to do some S-degrading rituals. They're caught in a web of lies. Look, I can't even make it up, can I? S-degrading rituals, okay? Wants to trap you for life, like you can't leave. Witness intimidation, blackmailing anyone they can. Very perverted. This could even hit international judges and court of justice. They thought money could buy happiness, sad inside, stressed and depressed. Alright, this mail fraud, wire communication, a scheme to defraud someone, and a material deception. A judge is under investigation. There's a lot of plagiarism. They took the money, and it ain't no good money. It's now BLOD money because of what they've been doing. And then we got conservatorship, so they wanted full control, and they will have to sell their homes to pay back. Alright, they have severe mental health issues, getting involved in S-degrading rituals for fun, for clout. So that's why they are all getting taken down, and they're just being poisoning. Poison manipulation, venom manipulation, because they're all venomous snakes, okay? Various toxins inflict negative effects upon target to cause total paralysis and even kill someone outright. Trying to compete to be you all you have. So there was battling competing with feminine to become this feminine, alright, have this feminine's destiny and child or children's destiny. And now they're sat there doing help me spells because they've got involved in fake death certificates. Covens are going down, and they are surrounded by undercovers 24/7 on 24/7 surveillance. Tried to create some sort of blocking intuition, wanted to create some sort of confusion, diversions, distractions from what they was doing, divert attention while they was getting involved in gang stalking, psychological warfare, dream magic, lying, Six of Cups in reverse, very childish and didn't care about loss of child or children's life and wanted to keep something like all secret. But there's bank going under investigation. It was a bad investment. I've got a bank going under investigation. Yeah, they're going to lose everything in their bank account. Six of Cups in reverse, nothing but childish. Okay. Nothing but childish. Shopping. Okay. Playing games. Wow, 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 wow. Spiritual bullying child or children. Energy harvesting. Alright. And again, wanting to take control of some sort of recognition, success for themselves, fabricating this legal documentation. And they've got some foreign bank accounts, Ten of Swords in reverse, that are getting taken down too. So any money in foreign bank accounts, they're getting taken down too. Wowie, wowie, wowie. Just absolutely shocking. Main male in reverse. Theft and change in reverse. There's also, with community, gathering of community of a high honour in reverse people and neighbours, because they didn't want to see a change in feminine or child or children's well, so they got involved in a theft with the child, with theft, okay, plagiarism, gang stalking, okay, so organised crime, watching from windows, and it's coming to light about these official people. And we've got distant horizons and great fortune, these offshore overseas bank accounts, okay, and trafficking some sort of drugs, male and female, some sort of guns, alright. A lot of working behind the scenes because they didn't want to be revealed for all this fraudulent activity, is what I'm getting. Alright, wanted to end feminine and child or children's journey so they didn't have to go to prison and face accountability for their crime, but they are going to prison. They are for being fakes, for being frauds, for being phonies, for all their shit ton of severe crimes, and their journey is going to end in reverse. For this main female, and they've got a message, okay? They're going to get life in prison, maximum security prison with the rest of them. They're going to prison for life, maximum security prison, monster mansion, alright? And they're going to lose house or home, alright, them and their lover. They're going to lose house or houses. They're going to lose home. They're getting put on maximum security prison, life without the possibility of parole. We've got high honour in reverse, and marriage and community. So a lot of low vibrational, dirty, corrupt cops and dirty, corrupt people who work within local authority. They took a gift to try and stop a change. Could have been cash in hand, could have been some sort of checks. We've got concern in reverse. A mature woman, she didn't care about what she was doing because she was all about the money, alright? She just didn't want to have to work hard for money, okay? So she thought I would be an official, me and my son, and we'll have a pathway to be a wealthy man with this main male in reverse, okay? And their lover, alright, who also didn't want to have to work, who also was taking money under the table, a lot of underhanded behaviour, alright, to try and cover up this theft. And now everybody is all going down, okay? Everything is all going down, alright, for fabricating legal documentation, okay, corrupt law. They're not going to get hired again. They're going to have to work behind prison cells every single day for the rest of their life to pay every single penny back. Privileged lady in reverse, sudden wealth, theft, they're all faked. Family, room, and helping family from out of town, and somebody who somebody was dating or courting at one time was also trying to help, and a divorced couple was also watching from window, somebody who's been divorced before, watching from window, or somebody could be going through a divorce, or somebody who was going through divorce or is divorced, okay, was also getting involved in watching this, just sitting back and all this just going down. We've got wealthy man in reverse, alright, community, inside the community, outside the community. Somebody who's been divorced before was expecting to just paint a picture. They've just been painting a picture, creating a lot of propaganda to get people from in town and outside of town involved in gang stalking, because they wanted to help masculine who took hold of some money and bought a house or a home or a property abroad, alright, that is going to have to get sold, alright. They just wanted to come out of poverty. So bought a house or a home or a property abroad, or took ownership of a house or a home or a property abroad. They're going to get pushed back into poverty again, and they're all going to lose their jobs, alright. Every single one of them are going to lose their jobs. Someone that was caught in or dating other people, privileged lady in reverse, who got involved. So they're all surrounded by high on undercovers. Everyone who took a gift under the table from this mature man in reverse is all coming to light. And we've got corrupt official who was caught in or dating a judge in some sort of law, alright. Great fortune. They're losing all of the money they've stolen. She's losing everything. She was just real unconcerned. She thought she was some sort of mafia. I wanted her son to become a wealthy man and get involved in child abduction. An ex was like orchestrating this as well with their mother, and real unconcerned about, everyone was unconcerned about taking gifts. They just wanted to stitch feminine up for crimes she's not committed, while they was premeditating hers and her child or children's murder. Yeah, and then we've got bad health, alright, we've got message, and we've got child or children. Snatching child or children, going, oh, your mum's really poorly, isn't she? Isn't she a nutter? Let's tell it that, yeah, your mum is really poorly, while they're premeditating child or children's murder with this fusty, musty old man and this stupid bitch of a woman. Distant horizons change. So like a married couple who moved from like a flat into a bigger house or a home, alright, and they was loving that, they was, and now they're going to lose their house, their home, and they're expecting it, because they thought they was going to get away with it. Like this man from family, they all thought they was going to get away with it. Corrupt law going down, alright. They're trying to take everything off this feminine, her life and child or children's life, and have them with absolutely nothing, and they all just get involved in some sort of killing sprees or this attempted murder, putting hits out, and they really didn't care. They was just jealous of this feminine's occupation. This is where this plagiarism comes. Jealous of feminine's occupation, and they wanted all the work for themselves because they'd love to have that work. And then we've got lovers, child in reverse, and main male in reverse. Child lovers, helping child lovers, and a community of pedos, a community of child lovers, alright? A community of child lovers. So money has just gone, yeah, into the wrong pockets, and that is why, yeah, they're going to get life in prison. That is why law firms, everything's going down. Even a mayor is getting sentenced and charged. Even a mayor is getting sentenced and charged. Or some sort of settlement. Wow. Some sort of settlement. Wow. Alright, so if this is your situation, because it sounds a lot like my situation too, I hope you get justice soon, and I hope the kids are safe while they are surrounded by these sick fucks who's a set of child predators. Thought you were easily replaceable, but one of a kind. A hitman arrested and grasping for a lesser sentence. A lot of arrests going down, a lot of people going down for this because, well, there's nothing they can say or do what's ever going to justify their evil acts, their evil deeds. There's nothing they can say or do what's going to change all the trauma and despair what they have brought. All for the love of money, what was never even theirs to take in the first place. It's absolutely disgusting. Cults and covens going down. Hitmen going down. Corrupt law all going down. A mayor. Children's family or families. And everyone who joined forces all going down. So justice will be served and they will be put maximum security prison and they'll be in isolation cells and stuff like that.